Being in a high school rock band during the 60s was not like any other time. If you were a musician, well, you better look like a Beatle and play like one too. So it was with me and my band. When we saved up enough money for our gigs, we bought Beatle jackets from Hollywood. In the beginning, we were terrible, but we quickly improved. Although we only played sock hops at St. Monica's High School in Santa Monica, California, not many of the students had ever heard us live until one night at the big dance, disco balls and colored twisted paper everywhere, the hired band didn't show up. It was 1965. My band, The Tangents, were all there with dates, and we were asked, could we perform and help out? It was a sweet moment of truth as we rocked the house that night. Here's a song featuring jazz saxophone recording artist Richard Elliott, also Brian Mann, Kenny Loggins' keyboard player, with Cliff Hugo, who plays bass for Melissa Manchester, and Katie Segal singing backup. The photo shoot shows some of my early pictures of me and my brother, who was my best friend. From the album Who Was Aaron Greyhorse, here's a song I wrote called Alive and Well.
Somehow, and took you by surprise. Trying your best to make it work. Oh, you felt just like a jerk. Never got your money's worth. You gave up your life and cried and went for the dreams. Left friends who let the world. You're alive and well. You're alive and well. You're alive and well. And you got a story to
tell. Hi, this is Dave Graham. One day, the new band got hooked up with a guy who became our manager, Bill something or other. Now, Bill had a very dubious character. He would go, for example, to a Ford dealership late on a Friday afternoon and talk the salesperson into letting him have a brand new Lincoln Continental for the weekend, telling him that before buying it, he'd have to get used to it, so he needed to drive it around for the weekend. And the guy did it. Well, what we do is pile into this Lincoln and visit nightclubs. Now, he wanted to impress potential club owners that we were a really high-class band, to be able to ride around in this expensive Lincoln car. And so at what clubs we chose to play, with no auditions, with him as our manager. Well, we never got any gigs out of this scheme and figured him out to be the con man he really was, so we dumped him. After high school, Michelle and I put another band together, one of many as it turned out, that included my stepsister, Sue. It was called the High Potency Multiple Vitamins. What a name. Once, we played in a battle of the bands at Cal State University Northridge, and one of our competitor bands was the Pacific Gas and Electric Company Blues Band. Now, White Rabbit by the Jefferson Airplane was a big hit at the time, and since we covered it really well, we played it and managed to beat PG&E and won the battle of the bands. We beat PG&E. The guys in PG&E, really good blues players, were very gracious afterward, as I recall, even complimenting us on the way we'd played. A few years later, when blues was where it was at, I remember even paying to see PG&E since they were such a good blues band. It's amazing we beat them. As they say, timing is everything.
I guess I write a fair amount of country music, and this is one of my earliest compositions. In the mid-70s, I worked at a place that had some incredible musicians as employees. Here's a song that features musicians from the Great American Food and Beverage Company in Santa Monica. David Bloom is playing piano, and two of the finest violin players I have ever known, Mark and Dictor and Daniel Kahane, with Katie Segal singing harmony with me on a nice little country ditty from the album Who Was Aaron Greyhorse? Here's a song I wrote called Here Together.
Now that you and me passion, soothing our blues away. Now that you and me are here together and poking into everything that we can see. Whoa, way up there on a coconut tree, falling so in love, dancing like a stair in Rogers, they beside with the moon above. Oh, hey. Ooh, la, la, I love you every day. Yeah, love you in a very most peculiar way. Ooh, la, la, I'll make love to you.
Hi, this is DJ Barker. I had the privilege of working with Grey Horse at the Great American Food and Beverage Company in Santa Monica, where we all performed. We were contracted out. Our owner, Poppy, had a connection with the Troubadour in West Hollywood, and we would go and cater for them. Part of the job, aside from catering and serving the tables, was we would get up on stage and all of us would perform different things. There was a night where we had no idea who we were going to be performing for, and we were all there earlier getting started. And when the doors opened up, a cavalcade of stars came through the door. Joni Mitchell, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Jackson Browne, John Lennon, Harry Nilsson, Joni Mitchell, etc., etc. And we were wide-eyed and amazed that we were going to be performing for all these great icons of Hollywood. But what had happened was every single performer was bombing. Nobody was listening to us. Nobody seemed to care. They just kept talking among themselves and drinking their drinks and eating their little appetizers and things like that. And no matter how great the performers were, and there were some great performers, nobody was paying any attention. Grey Horse decided that, heck, I'm not going to go and just do a song like everybody else. And he went out in the back alley and found a trash can lid in a stick. He took his shirt off, he wrapped it around his waist, and he came back up on stage and started to do an authentic rain dance. Real slow at first, real deliberate, and people started noticing. The heads started turning. And by the end of the song, everybody was completely enamored. They stood up, he got a standing ovation, it broke the ice, and then they started listening to everything we did after that. So thank you, Grey Horse, because, to have that kind of thing, where Grey Horse opened the way for people, and it was just a magical thing to see. The transition of all these people who weren't paying any attention turn their heads and not only be excited about what they heard and what they were experiencing, but the fact that they gave them a standing ovation.
I left Venice, California around 1980 and went to Bailey School of Broadcast in Seattle. For graduation, the radio and TV departments got together and produced my Native American song that I wrote called Fighting for the Good of Man. It features Mr. Saxophone Dewey Marler, adding his own voice to the full production and allowing me to get creative with the script. I asked Medicine Man Dale Running Bear to be part of this Native American drama, and although the video is just a little shaky, I overdubbed the original flawless recording for the audio. So here's Fighting for the Good of Man.
There's more soldiers sneaking up behind the band. You should have told her the way around the dragon den. No place left to hide.
Until then, we will be fighting for the good of man, a healing prophecy. You know, music is very healing and gives me a way to express myself and also hopefully make a difference. My great-grandmother was a healer, and I seem to have followed in her footsteps. Although I only knew her through my mother's memory, she still made a deep impression on me, especially when she visited me in my dreams. I began working as the herbologist at Mrs. Gooch's natural food store. I felt moved to go to school and earn my master's from Union University in Los Angeles. Later, I used my degree in many other ways I did not expect, like when I first transitioned from Aaron Greyhorse to Michelle Rocking Garcia, the name I was born with. During the first few years of my transition, I lived in Portland, Oregon, and then, with a new job, I moved to San Francisco, where I worked as the Bay Area representative for Oregon's Wild Harvest. It wasn't long before I made friends with the locals and competed in an annual beauty pageant called the San Francisco Cotillion. I put in a lot of hours during the pageant and competed with 13 other transgendered women for the title of Miss Transgendered San Francisco, breaking in the new millennia in 2000 at the illustrious San Francisco Design Center. I chose one of my songs from my instrumental album to help highlight the events of the Miss Transgendered San Francisco Cotillion in 2000. From the album Spanish Traveler, here's El Gato Negro. Writing more than ever now, and I had enough material for a complete LGBTQ album called San Francisco Queers. It was a selection of songs I wrote celebrating the human spirit and dedicating it to the community I was part of. Every year, the LGBTQ community celebrates a week of Pride Parade celebrations all over the world. With San Francisco being the mecca of the LGBTQ community, I wrote and dedicated the song to everyone who has a heart full of pride. From the album San Francisco Queers, here's Pride Parade Ball.
Dykes and bikes and leather girls
walking holding hands, beer and wine, it's party time. What you got there in that can? And then there was nothing more to say. And then the band started to play. Way down below and up above, it's so hard to lose when you got a friend to love. The Gay Straight Alliance have a real plan. LGBT and Q reach out shaking hands. Everyone's so proud and high on friendly vibes, checking out each other like we were one big tribe. Then there was nothing more to say. Then the band started to play. Way down below and up above, it's so hard to lose when you got a friend to love. Rainbow flags will fly. Is there anyone here who is gonna take the party home?
Hi, I'm Jennifer Kennedy. Played with Michelle for quite a few years. Played a bunch of gigs together, played a bunch of music. Some of the shows were quite a bit of fun, and we played various things kind of related to the LGBT Center in San Francisco. That we played there, which is I think one of the funner gigs I've played, and it's always a joy to have her around. And since she's moved to Tennessee, I miss having her here as a musician friend and a friend. And she was always great to have as somebody to bounce things off of and always chat with and catch up, even if we weren't actively playing. And one thing about Michelle is that she is a consummate professional, very focused on her art and her music, and always moving things forward. And for a lot of musicians, they lose their drive, lose their spark, but Michelle never has, which I've always been really impressed with. I think it's really hard to be a working musician in this day and age, regardless of what you're trying to do, who you're playing with, whether it's what style of music. It's just really difficult. Michelle has managed to keep it all going and doing great stuff for all these years.
We are joy between the tears. Whoa, whoa. We are what others sometimes fear. We are San Francisco queers. Whoa, whoa. And we're gonna rock this house tonight. Down at the end of Market Street, there's a little bar where queers meet. Boys in dresses, girls in pants. Attitudes keep changing. Who will answer the call? Genders exchanging places. Men look at us, we're dolls. We're the first ones to party, we're the last ones to leave. We might be tardy, but we're always good for teens. The first ones to party, the last ones to leave. We might be tardy, but we're always good for teens. We are the queers. We are the queers. We are the San Francisco queers. I love instrumental music, and I guess it gave me an excuse to shy away from singing. Almost after a decade of living as a woman, though, I felt a lot more confident with my voice. In 2009, my husband and I moved to Nashville, where he was born. He's an amazing saxophone player and has written some very good instrumentals. Well, I wanted to move right into the Nashville music scene and came up with a humorous food album where every song is about food. It features Wardlaw on saxophone. From the album Laughing in the Kitchen, here's a song I wrote called Secret Recipe.
Oh, my date came for dinner. It wasn't such a winner. He gagged on a chicken bone. Call 911. Quick, get on the phone. It was you who took a drink and a big bite. You couldn't chew something strange and then lost sight. Oh, you couldn't breathe and wanted to heave and then began to doubt. But I used my fist and it popped out. I never knew that you could turn. Mall food court, hamburgers, pizza, and grilled seasoned pork. They're calling numbers one at a time. Hurry up and order, it's a big line. So many choices, don't make me beg. Just give me something that comes an arm and a leg. If it's too spicy, I need a big drink. If it's too salty, it goes in the sink. Down at the Burger Captain, they were busy and the buns were flattened. Rubber cheese with a mystery sauce, free toothpicks and dental floss. Come and get it, your food's ready. Hope you like last week's spaghetti. Order's up, you're in luck, it's a real treat, huh? And now it's time to eat. My name is Anime, y'all ready to order?
Yeah, I'll have 2 double bacon cheeseburgers, 2 fries. No, make that 3 double bacon cheeseburgers. 3 fries, no mustard, no onions, 2 apple pies, chocolate fudge sundae, 2 cherries.
Wait. Just a minute. Could you repeat that, please?
I have 2 double bacon cheeseburgers with 2 fries. No, make that 3 double.
So many great musicians have made my songs come to life, and I can't begin to thank all of the players who have showed me professional respect because of the quality of music I write. I was fortunate to have found some very talented musicians from the Bay Area to help me record and perform there. Here's some video clips from the Oakland session and another in San Francisco. From the album Take the Day Off, here's my favorite rock song featuring Bryce Foster on drums. It's called A Good Rock Band. Rock band. I like a good rock band. Let's rock this house and jam. I like a good rock band. I like a good rock band. I like a good rock band. Let's rock this house and jam. I could be like Madonna, make the world do what you wanna. I play the drums and even the bass, and my guitar got rhythm all over the place. Let me introduce you to my little friend, my guitar rock legend. When you're on stage, nothing matters but the show. When you're on stage, there's no other place you'd rather go. Curtain call and you're on. You've been up since dawn, and now there's a song you must sing. In 2014, I released an album that has taken more time to produce and more sessions with all kinds of musicians from California to Tennessee. The album itself was a little bit jinxed, losing files from the sessions, having my engineer quit on me right in the middle of recording. Then I had to start all over again. Same songs with a whole new different band, and Anyway, here's the first song off the Dead End Street album, Crises on the Shore.
Left in ruins, the bodies and the flies. Now they say it's all okay. Oil caps in place, but there's sludge along the shoreline. And on my baby's face, people rise to action as it takes its toll. Who will stand and fight on? Truth and soul, for truth and soul, for truth and soul. So fast, like lambs being led to slaughter. How much more will come to pass all across the globe? Lives being ripped apart, all the Maya prophecies coming true. Will we make a brand new start? People rise to action as it takes its toll. Stand and fight for truth and soul, for truth and soul, for truth and soul. You can change the world with a smile and a heart that's strong. Encourage everyone. Each smile. Love's where we belong. Love's where we belong. You can change the world with a smile and a heart that's strong. Encourage everyone. Each cry. Love's where we belong. Love's where we belong.
Hello there. My name is Bryce Foster, and I've known Michelle for about 5 years, around there. And over those 5 years, I can say that hanging with Michelle has been a very fun experience. We've done a lot of gigs together, and I've been lucky enough to be included on a lot of her projects, and getting to record her music. And to be honest, you learn about someone real fast when you record their music, and you learn who they are inside, which is a cool thing, which absolutely matched what I thought of her from the beginning, which was good and honest, and that's the way her music comes out too. Good, honest, kick your ass rock and roll music, with all things good about country and soul and Latin, jazz, all fused in there. And that was one of the things that attracted me to the music at first, and Michelle, is because she had this cool sound drawing from a lot of different bags, which was similar to my kind of thing as a drummer. I've had been in a lot of different bands, groups, situations, and drawn from a lot of musical experiences and a lot of different types of music. And that's kind of where Michelle came from. The most fun thing learning about her was that she likes to make music like I make music, and that's pay attention to detail. Great parts, great melodies, great writing, musical part maker, whether it be on any instrument. You know, she kind of like can do all of that, which is also impressive.
Dead end street, trying to make it last. Nowhere fast. We're going nowhere fast. We're having such a blast. We're on a dead end street, trying to make it last. Nowhere fast. School me, fool me, glue me in. Shake me, take me where I've never been. On this dead end street, fading hearts compete for freedom.
This next song features the wild world of Nashville singers who come to this town hoping for stardom. So many waitresses waiting in line, so much determination, she must have girl power. Featuring the legendary Bobby Cochran on lead guitar from the album Dead End Street, here's She's Got Girl Power.
If you're gonna rock and roll, you're gonna break hearts or be a dumb tart. Show me about those house and fancy gear. A fender strapped through a tube. It didn't take long before their nails got grooves. I mean, what was a girl to do? If only you give them a rocking music contract. Thousands for miles around, people in heart attacks. 3 chords in just a week, and you might even know 9. So how long does it take to be a rock star? She's running out of time. Who needs talent when you're gallant and your daddy is rich? Ain't life a bitch? Don't have to play by rules when you lead a band of fools. You get anywhere underneath the stairs. You smoke in the shower. You rockin' the bar. Hey, she got girl power. Shake it, shake it, shake it, make it, make it, make it. No one knows. Just don't break it, work it, work it. it, work it, own it, own it, own it. Got no talent, they'll just clone it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, make it, make it, make it. Well, I know if you fake it, work it, work it, work it, work it, own it, own it, own it. Got no talent, they'll just clone it.
I began writing like I did when I was young. Nashville has a noticeable flow and the energy of so many great writers in the area. This next song is a country boogie about being irresponsible and going fishing. It also features Bobby Cochran's fine guitar work. Kick back and enjoy this fun music video from the album Take the Day Off. Here's Irresponsible Today.
Lots of fishes, no more dishes. Come on and get real. Lots of fishes, no more dishes. Who's got time for a meal? Lots of fishes, no more dishes. I'm too tired to deal. He's got a 409 and sits low upon the rack. Only thing is he don't work before his nap. Now me and the mosquitoes will only just let him be. 'Cause he don't work for nothing, especially for free. So I got me a tractor and a few yard tools at home. I don't use them much 'cause I like to fish alone. See me a big old flapper treading water in that stream. Maybe today I'll catch her, it's a taxidermy dream. How was your busy day? Did you get to have a say in the matter? Did your boss give you a raise or a handshake and some praise? Were you shattered? A little splattered? Go matter! Lots of fishes, no more dishes. Come on and get real. Lots of fishes, no more dishes. Who's got time for a meal? Lots of fishes, no more dishes. I'm too tired to deal. Yeah, so today we're gonna be irresponsible and way. Ooh, we're going fishing for the whole dang day. Yeah, taking the time to say, what does it matter anyway? We're gonna be irresponsible today. Lots of fishes, no more dishes. Come on and get real. Lots of fishes, no more dishes. Who's got time for a meal? Lots of fishes, no more dishes. I'm too tired to deal. Ha ha! Somebody get me a pillow. You taught me oh so many things, and every lesson I jumped through rings. I know you're saving some People smile with a grin, tell you they're your friend. Can hoot and holler, bet you time for $1 when it's country. You can give it a whirl. Come on, baby, dance with your girl, because it's country, country music tonight. Well, all right.
One of my best albums to date. I love the versatility of this positive album full of pop, rock, and country songs. We all deserve a day off from all of the madness we have learned to endure in this world. So here's the title track featuring Ward Law on saxophone with Take the Day Off.
You know what? Let's just take the day off. Yeah, that's right. Come on. Let's just take the day off. Give or take, you just won't wait. File an extension if you've got no pension. The laws of gravity are holding me down. When I get a fix, I just take it to town. No use denying when you're faced with the truth. Can't keep from dying when your head's in the news. So many cars all waiting in line. I can't get there fast enough when you run out of time. I think I'll take the day off. I think I'll take the day off. Go someplace that I've never been, someplace that don't cost an arm and a limb. Postpone the business, hold all the calls, and come on, baby, get away from me. Extension if you got no pension. The laws of gravity aren't holding me down. When I get a fix, I just take it to town. No use denying when you're faced with the truth. Can't keep from dying when your head's in the news. So many cars all waiting in line. Can't get there fast enough when you run out of time. I think I'll take the day off. That I've never been and take the day off.
No doubt, these are tough times, and we as a nation have had to endure some compromising situations. From the album Living on the Bottom Line, here's the title track, Living on the Bottom Line.
On the bottom line, you don't care cause you lost your mind. You wish life was good and things were fine. Doing time on the bottom line, you don't care cause you lost your mind. You wish life was good and things were fine. Cause there ain't no living like the bottom line. The bottom line. In the morning came the warning of the small town waking up. She was toasted and a little roasted from the tequila in her cup. But a little chili lime and things were fine and all was right with the world. Hot damn, she's got a man who likes living with a country girl. Doing time on the bottom line, you don't care cause you lost your mind. You wish life was good and things were fine. Yeah, doing time on the bottom line.